graduates straight to the league. I ain't waiting for my knee to blow. Yesterday I was needing this dough. Get it? I was needing this dough.
Ron, what up, baby?
What's going on, man?
You obviously were 18 when you started making money,
Right.
and you came from nothing to making money. Did you ever stop and think like, wow, I got to make these tough decisions at 21 and 22?
Being a first generational moneymaker in the household is a scary thing. And for 18-year-old, I go from being sitting in classrooms in May, graduating high school, to being a multimillionaire a month later, in June.
Insane. From when we were kids, I mean, I was thinking about these as I was preparing for this, that we dealt with this on like a high level. All of a sudden we were in this, like, for me, it was like, holy shit, now we're in this room and this shit is real. It's not like I had that moment. We were sitting in that room at Reebok and Paul Fireman was very smart. He said to you, I know you're gonna go see Nike and Adidas, but I'm gonna offer you $10 million today if you don't go see them and shake my hand.
Right.
He wrote you a $10 million check in that room and you turned it down. I can't say I would have turned it down. I mean, I think in the room I said, yo, let's take this check and get the hell out of here. But you turned it down. So what was that thinking? Do you remember what you were thinking and why you did it?
Right, I mean, I remember, first of all, it was one of the longest damn tables I ever seen in my life.
Longest table, boardroom table
Yeah, it was one
ever.
of the longest boardroom tables I ever seen in my life. And I had no idea what he was doing at the other end of the table. I just seen him writing.
Yeah.
And he was talking, had his head down. He was making sure he didn't get anything wrong on that on that check. And when he slid it down there and he said, listen, if you take this right now, you just promised me you won't go talk to Nike or Adidas, you can take this right now. And I was lost for words at the beginning. I mean, shit, I flew in from Akron, Ohio, from Spring Hill, from the projects. I mean, our rent is like $17 a month.
Exactly.
And now I'm looking at a $10 million check.
That you can leave with.
Yeah, and go to high school and go back to the classroom the next day.
I was still people that you were going to homeroom the next morning.
I was going to homeroom the next morning. So I'm like, holy shit. That's my first initial thing. And then I for some odd reason, I started thinking, like, if this guy, he's a great guy too, I still love him to this day. He's an unbelievable guy. But if he's willing to give me a $10 million check right now, what is it to say that Nike or Adidas is not willing to give me 20 or 30, up front, or to say that maybe the upfront money is not even the biggest thing, maybe let's start thinking about the back end, and, I've always, and that comes from, my uncles as well, just, never put all your eggs in one basket, and give it an opportunity, give people an opportunity to say what they got, to pitch themselves. And, we always say, listen, we're gonna hear all three companies. We wanna hear all three companies, what they have to say, what's their plan, and I still can't believe I left that $10 million.
I can't believe it either. Was there a point that it really clicked for you? Like, okay, now I understand actually the difference between equity and money. Like betting on myself long-term versus just getting some money today.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's a hell of a question right there. And I think when we started to look at our endorsement deals as partnerships, I think that's when a lot of it started clicking for me, of saying, you know what, we're not just here to hold your product, or we're not here just to talk your product. We're here to work with you to how we can figure out how that product may look better on that bookshelf, and how it can live sometimes without even me.
Exactly.
And once we started doing that, and I started seeing us become more and more and more seasoned at doing that, I was like, there's no reason why we can't start our own thing.
Yep.
To a point where we can have our brainstorming opportunities where if we come up with something, people want to buy what we got.
Of course, yep.
And that's what a lot of it had to do with. And just to say that you bet on yourself and you started from the bottom.
Yep.
You started from the bottom and you've created something where you can look at it and say, wow, we did that. We did that. And we own that.
Yep.
And we own that. That's a really cool thing.
We both invested in Blaze. It's obviously done very well. But you had a great contract with McDonald's
Yeah.
that was set to pay you. I mean, you had another $14 or $15 million left guaranteed. And I came to you with the idea that, hey, I think if you let's get rid of McDonald's, you'll give away that money. You won't make that money, but there's a better investment. I think we can invest in this thing that A, better fits where you're going as a person, your lifestyle, and B, I think it's a better business idea. What is it about that you went, okay, I trust that, I believe in that. Let's do that, man.
I believed in the actual product first. And like I said, it was a great partnership with McDonald's. We had a great time. We did some great things on television.
years,
We did some great things over the years. But I remember we went to UC Irvine.
It's the first ever Blaze at UC
First ever
Irvine.
Blaze, and we tasted the product, and the product was phenomenal. You know, and I actually took a pie back to the hotel as well. And then you came with me with the proposition that we could actually own our own and be franchisees of a couple cities in America. And the numbers that you were showing me, the potential that we could make if we just put the time and effort into it, exceeded, you know, what McDonald's would be guaranteeing me for over the next 4 years. But more importantly, I think for me, it was like, oh wow, we get to actually build this.
We can be a part of.
We can be a part of something that's.
Forget the money. Exactly.
Yeah, forget the money. We can actually build something.
Yep.
And if it doesn't become successful, then I can only blame myself, because I know the product is that damn good. Like, I taste the product. I went there. I see how cool it was to go up there, and you just like. I remember going to Ponderosa as a kid, like a buffet. I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. Choices. Boom. You eat 2 minutes. And that was the same thing with the pie. I was like, listen, I want this. I want that mix. I want that sauce. I want that ingredient. I want that topping. 2 minutes later, you got a fresh pie.
Exactly.
I was like, if we can, who doesn't like pizza? I don't know a person in the world that doesn't like pizza. I don't care what kind of diet you are. Everyone loves pizza. So I was like, if we can't make this successful, then we're in the wrong business anyways.
Exactly. How do you let that ego go and ask questions like, wait a minute, explain this to me, explain that to me, when you need all that ego to compete in basketball?
Right. Throughout this journey of mine, I've just like, you know, we always talk about the process. You know, in the process of me trying to become the greatest of all time or maximize, you know, my potential as a player, I also have to be able, once I leave battle or leave competition, to have to accept the fact that there's certain things that I maybe don't know or don't know enough of, so I have to ask questions. You know, it's a challenging thing, but at the same time, I know that once I get off the floor, there's gonna be more time in my life spent off the floor than on the floor.
That's a good way to look at it, yeah. You spend more, exactly.
So from age 9 to, if you make it to 40, that's 31 years of your life. But from 40 to 85, 90, hopefully I'm lucky to get to 90, that's 50 years. So, you know, I still have to live life, you know, beyond the hardwood.